Well, let's talk about some of the other storylines in pro basketball because this was really a weird week. Weird first round.
Yeah, I mean, you see some number one seeds go down. I mean, this was a wild week.
Let's talk about Milwaukee. They're really upset, probably rightfully so. But this had to do with the injury to Giannis, suffering the bruised back. Came back, was just never the same player, and they're not the same team when he's not part of the rotation offensively. And so there's a huge disappointment when you're the number one seed in the West and you don't get out of the first round. But that was just the quirk of injuries along the way. Philadelphia's got a real problem. Joel Embiid has just gotten plasma platelet injection in the sprained knee.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a problem with two different ligaments. There's no tear. He's hardly practiced at all. He does not. I don't think he plays in game one in the series with Boston. I don't think he can play game two. If you can't practice, how are you going to run the floor? How are you going to run the floor when you've got a sprained knee? And if he's not in the lineup, just not the same basketball team. So we'll have to take this game by game. Does not play game one. I don't know how he could play game two. And usually when you have the PRP, plasma platelet injection, usually it takes a week before you're actually allowed back on the court to actually do basketball related full bore things. So that's a real tough blow for the 76ers. Cleveland, young team, as I mentioned. Evan Mobley's got to get bigger in the upper body, the former USC star. No doubt the Cavaliers have got firepower a lot of different places, pretty young team. That'd be a learning curve experience, I think, for them. I think the same thing, chemistry is a big issue in Minnesota. They're embittered. Something bad's happened up there. I think now it has slapped them in the face, John, that the trade they made to get Rudy Gobert from Utah, and they paid a really steep price to get him. Now they got two guys that don't match. And that's a real big issue when you got Karl Anthony Towns and you got Rudy Gobert and you can't play them together. Ball movement slows. Who should have the ball? Who should take the shots? Somebody I think is going to get traded in this offseason because Minnesota's square peg round hole. The deal with Utah kind of blew up in their face and they gave up a ton to get Gobert from the Jazz. And the Knickerbockers are playing, and they got Miami. They're already down in that series. Injuries is a big issue. If you don't have Julius Randle and he's re-sprained his ankle for a third time in New York, if you don't have him doing what he does, all different dimensions to the offense, you're not the same offense. There's way too much dumped on Jalen Brunson's plate as the star guard. And now Miami, which has kind of really surged at the end of the season, got into the playoffs, won their first round. Jimmy Butler just going off. He's re-injured his ankle for a third time. So this is going to be a night-to-night thing. And, yeah, he'll play, but how long can he play? Is he still explosive? What happens if he tweaks it again? Then he comes out. It's a longer rehab period. So injuries have really sidetracked a bunch of these teams.
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable. It's, we're going to talk about the Clippers in a bit, but, with Embiid and the knee, it just reminds me a little bit of Kawhi and some of the challenges there. But the playoffs are just ferocious. I mean, the way these guys take it up 2 or 3 notches, it's no wonder they're getting battered and bruised.
These guys are fearless. I mean, they're playing above the rim and the collisions, and it's absolutely stunning.